Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground so far. And this next section is adding your titles, which is going to be very important for this class because you're going to be doing a lot of subtitles as far as your translations. And we will get into that. Let's see here. We have some material to work with. I'm going to add a few more clips here just so we'll have something to work with. And let me go down here. Just anything, so we'll have something to work with. Okay. So because we've got a lot of stuff built up here on our timeline already. So to add title, this is getting towards the end. And by the way, let me just do a little review over the process. The first thing we do after we shoot video, of course, is to import that video into the project. And of course, before that, we should have organized everything. So we organize, we import the video, we make the clips, and we make them by putting the entire interview clip on its own timeline. And from that we carve it up and we put our labels on there that tells us what is what. We don't really delete anything at that point. And if we have 2 interviews, then what we'll do is we'll make a timeline for each one of those. Like in here, we have Deb's clips and also John's clip. And this will give us a reference point as far as the time is concerned, and that's very important for being able to find your in and out points. And you can see that we have carved this up. This is the entire interview. This could be a 45-minute or an hour interview. And we labeled them. And then we, again, if there's several interviews, we made a different timeline for each, going back in our project library. And then at the when we get all those labeled like we want them, and they don't have to have precise edges, we're going to make this final project, which is what we're on now, and we can copy and paste them into this project. And we'll have to relabel, as you recall, because it didn't follow it over. And again, to recap, if we wanted to find out where this is in our clips, I'm going to bring this up so you can see what's happening here. We wanted to know exactly where this clip was. We select it. You can tell by the yellow border all the way around. And I'm control clicking. And you still can't see it. Hold on. I can't get it up anymore. But if you say, it down here it says reveal an event browser. And so there's our clip. And, just in case we wanted to know where it was, I'm going to click out of there. And also I'm going to go ahead and make this fit back in our window. And then we're going to rearrange them like we want. And then remember, we use the edge trimmer to trim the edges, like so, the precision editor, and that's how we got the edges just exactly like we wanted them. And we use the next, and as you can see, that's advancing. And we watched it update in our viewer here, the incoming clip and the outgoing clip. That's how we tweak the edges. We also used our audio to be able to listen to where we wanted to start and stop that. Okay, let me turn that off again. And then when we get to the end, we are done. We click done and that comes up. The next thing we want to do is put in our stills. And I showed you how to do that by It's going to have to be dragged in here one way or the other. And I think it's better to go ahead and in your hard drive folder that you've organized all your clips, where this says media and your stills. And if you recall, we dragged our folder into the iMovie, the iPhoto bin, so that because we're not going to be storing anything in iPhoto or iTunes. Those are always going to be outside of those programs, because we can't rely on that to follow us everywhere. And once we do that, we can add things to this folder, and the next time we open it up, it'll update down here because it's a link. And this is specifically tied to your external drive. That works for audio and video. So get your stills up there and get those tweaked. Here we go. And remember, we dragged them and we made cutaways, and that way we can slide them around. We also did it another way by detaching the audio and withdrawing the video portion only, so that we have the remaining audio here. You can do it that way. You can also, by the way, drag up here. You can drag video on here. And it's the same thing. I'm just associating it with this clip, and we want to do a cutaway, and there, that's going to do the same thing.
Cuando se hacen las cosas cuando no. Pero mi papá también. Yo digo que es un poco más igual, pero mi mamá.
Video, the still image did, and we can drag that around just like so. And also, I should say that we can highlight that and delete it, and it's gone. No harm done. And the very last thing you want to do, really, is add your audio. So we might go back over that again, but right now we're going to be adding our titles. This is can be pretty straightforward, or it can be somewhat tricky. So let's see how we do that. Go over here to the T for titles, and you notice that you have a whole bunch of titles here. But basically, these top ones are pretty much all you're going to really use. Lower thirds are very common. The centered and the upper and the scrolling text you might use, but you can try any of these. But here's something really cool. Just choose any one of these, and you can associate it with a clip, and you're going to have to. And there it is, and now you can type in anything you want up here. So we'll say, and this can be just anything, you know, like so. You can say done here, and here, let's play that through.
Patio donde jugar, donde.
You can also drag that around.
Como el hecho de que no tengo.
And there it came up on the still image. You can shorten that up. Okay, now here's an interesting thing that's very important to remember about these titles.
El hecho de que no tengo un patio donde jugar.
If you recall, we had to, when we dragged that in there, we had to associate that title with the clip. Now that is true for every for titles. I can't put another title on there. Let's try it. Let's try this. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Oh, make a layer out of me. I guess so. So now I'm just gonna say done at this point. And let's see how that plays.
Internet aquí. Ser árboles donde puedo arrancar una fruta donde no hay.
Okay, so you can. If you have a really, really long clip and you're trying to make your subtitles, the best way to do is split your clip and then just put your titles over your split clips. When you play across split clips and you don't do anything, you can't tell that they're split whatsoever. Okay. And again, you can drag that around. This is cool because you can drag the edges, and you just go ahead and you can click right up in there. You can change the font too if you want it down. See, that went way down there. When I put, you can go to one of these, or you can add a font. But one of these is generally okay. You definitely you got to be careful about these sorts of fonts because you can't read them. So you need something kind of relatively thick like these. And you can change, you can get rid of the outline if you want. You can bold or not bold or italic and that sort of thing. If you go to the other side here, you can make them a little bit bigger, perhaps. Actually, you're going to have to select it to do that. There you go. See, there you go. And you can do change the edges there. And there you go. And hit done. The only way to really you can't move the entire title up and down. Now but I think you can do that in iMovie X or 10. So what you could do is just put a space there, and you could actually move it down at that point. So there you go. That's a workaround on that. So just play that through and see what we got.
El hecho de que no tengo un patio donde jugar, donde puedo crecer árboles, donde puedo arrancar una fruta, donde no hay vecinos con los que pueda.
It's extremely important that you are able to read that. So that's the way to add titles. You can also add the. Oh, here's something very interesting. You can audition this title just by double-clicking it, and if you see, you can tell right here. Here's the type of title it is. Just click that, and when you do, it turns around. You can actually audition all the rest of these titles. Just for fun. You could see what they are without actually, deleting and adding and that sort of thing. So just hit cancel here. So that's really cool. That works for the titles. And also the transitions, which we will do right now. Let's do a transition. Let's hit done up here, and don't forget to hit done. If nothing's happening right, that's usually what the case is. So let's do a transition, and these are the transitions. Let's do some of these. Be very careful with these. Really, hardly anything you'll need to use. In anything serious, you just don't want to use these kind of funny transitions down here. But let's just go ahead and put crosses off, which is absolutely the most common of all transitions. We'll put it right here. This was a still, if you recall. So let's play this through.
Vivía mi hermana,
and what happened was in this cross dissolve, which could be useful at that point,
vivía mi hermana,
it kind of gradually faded into that. You didn't really need that at that point. Let's try it. I'm going to just select that and delete it. That's how you get rid of them. Let's go down here. And I'm going to do the same thing to this. You see, I just put it right in the middle. See that green? And I'm going to let go. Okay, let's play through this.
Voleibol, basquetbol, lo que sea. Entonces siempre.
I just finished installing everything. Okay, and that's a nice transition. If you double click this, you get a couple of options. One is you can change the duration. You can make right here 0.5 is what that is. So you just put like 0.2 if you want to make it shorter, or 1 if you want to make it longer. If you click this, it's already across dissolve. Why, it gives you these auditions for all of the others. Let's do a mosaic just for kicks, and let's play that through and see what it does.
Voleibol, basquetbol, lo que sea. Entonces siempre.
I just finished installing. Okay, that's not so bad. I mean, you just be careful that you don't get too many. In fact, use them very, very sparingly. And that is our titles and transitions. And let's stop here, and we're going to go on to I'm sorry, let's do one more thing. I'm sorry. Before we close this out. And that is, we're going to put a title. Let's go back to, we need to put a title at the beginning. So let's do the center one and put it right here at the beginning. Okay, if I can get it over there. There we go. Did you see it turn green? There, I'm going to drop that. There we go. Now, I wanted to show you that because if you can't insert a title without a background. So let's just take, for instance, the anything, classic black. So all that did was it had an internal generator here in iMovie, and it's playing through there. You can put anything for the background, really. You could put any still if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and let's just put the and then let's put his name here, John. Not going to worry about that. So there we go. That's a little spell check there. You probably want to make this smaller. So let's see how you do this real fast. I've already got the size, so and it's already selected, so I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And we're going to make that a little bit bigger. How about that? And let's get rid of the, I really don't like the outline all that much. So you can look around down here and kind of tweak your titles. But when you're done, hit done. And when you're done up here, hit done. So let's see what happened. So this is playing. There we go. And you could put your audio in down here. And let's take a look at this. The same thing. Remember how we auditioned the titles and transitions? Well, you can do the same thing with the background. So it's right here. It's just black. But let's look. You can audition these other colors if you want. That's kind of nice. Retro paper. This is got a little bit of animation. This is also animation. Stars. That's cool. So I just took stars, and there we go. So playing that through, there we have stars. Okay, and that's how you can make your own titles. And we're going to stop there, and the next thing we're going to do is put in our audio again, and also we're going to prepare to export this movie out. So let's stop.